Beautiful morning.
Tis.
Sorry. Just had to...
Am I starting this or are you starting this?
Whoa. Hang on. I launched myself off the seat.
We're having technical difficulties.
That's typical podcast, actually. Am I falling?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Castworks. Today, we have the wonderful Millie Thompson with us.
Yay!
Woo!
Hello, it's good to be here.
It's great to have you. Hopefully, we've got the process down by now. You are our fourth? I keep calling
Something
them...
like that?
In my head, I keep calling them contestants. It's guest. You're a guest.
And what are they competing for exactly?
At least I'm not calling them victims.
I mean,
that
close enough.
That would be accurate, honestly. Like, yeah,
That's what I accidentally call clients.
Oh,
clients,
Yeah.
victims.
Not in front of them. Not yet.
My next victim.
My
come
next
on
victim.
down.
At this point, I haven't been trained enough for them to be clients. They're right now. They're just victims. All right, Millie. How would people recognize your channel? What would you say you're known for?
Lately it seems to be all about my light tutorial. It got a lot of views not too long ago, so I've been doing a lot of tutorial kind of videos in what I call the yes.
The
gray box. Yes.
In the gray box, yes. What else?
And
We know you for a few things.
well, let's see. I was on Chunk Lock with you two and Oda.
Yeah.
And that was pretty popular. I have my Adventure Guild, which used to be Explorers Guild, and now is called Adventure Guild because I forgot that I was calling it Explorers Guild, and that's my single player, but I haven't been on there because I've been here on Craftworks for the last 2 seasons.
Can we talk about the fact that you renamed it just because you forgot what you called it? That's the most relatable reason for renaming a series I've ever heard.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I put the name on the building, the Explorers Guild, and then I never named my show, any of my YouTube shows that, and just one day I started calling it Adventure Guild, and then I started typing out the titles, calling it Adventure Guild. And then one day, oh, this was supposed to be the Explorers Guild, as I was looking back at season 1.
That's really funny.
But I only had 8 or 10 views on those videos, so nah.
Sorry, I completely blanked.
Yeah, me too.
Quippy response. That's so interesting. I'm so sorry. I'm so out of it right now. Okay.
Oh, you're good.
Let me... Oh, it's because my great book of everything is not open. That's why. My brain is on paper. I'm gonna go flip past all my doodles.
It's on paper.
It's on paper.
To be fair,
yeah.
I'm still coming out of streamer brain today, so.
Oof. Streamer brain is real,
That's
man.
why I did that early, so.
Well, I did it early. I've not been streaming for an hour and a half now. You think I'd be past it.
You're a couch potato. Yay.
Woo! Not an actual achievement.
Modded achievements. Yeah.
Modded achievement. Yeah.
The best achievements. Well, we're just going to jump straight into the nitty of the gritty. Let's see. Millie, how did you start your YouTube channel?
How did I start my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
So I started playing Minecraft in 2020 in July and started watching people's videos to get kind of tips and stuff. And by December, I had what I thought enough buildup of stuff. No, was it 2020 or 2021? Now I'm braining here. 1 December, I think it was 2021 actually. I finally thought, you know what? I should show off what I've been doing, and posted a couple of my kind of world tours that I was working on at the time. And yeah, that's how I kind of started my channel. I had no viewers and maybe a sub or 2, and I was just you know what, that's good, that's fine.
Didn't you start a month after Oda did? Or something like that?
Oh,
Hold on.
Maybe.
I'm pulling up your channel.
All right, you can pull up my channel.
Let's go find your birthday.
I think the first one's December, right around December 21st or something, 2021. Now, my channel existed before that because I had posted a bunny video and a cat video.
Aww.
Yeah, my first my first upload was May 8th of 2023. And we'll never forget that day.
Oh, well, you joined YouTube in 2011. Thanks, the homepage. That's not helpful.
Hold on, if you go into the
Yep,
modded content
Swiping.
playlist.
Oh, playlist. That would actually be a much easier way than
That would
scrolling
probably
through
be
all of
faster
your
to look
videos.
at.
3 years ago. That's so helpful.
Let me see.
Yeah,
Now-
2021.
Now you got me thinking 2021. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Cool.
So it would have been in December, and I had at that point had been watching X-Life.
Yes.
With Whip and LD Shadow Lady and Smallish Beans and all of that, and I thought, oh, I could try playing a modded thing. So then that was the builds that I showed off, was my modded world, my
Fun.
X-Life world.
And it was the X-Life mod pack, right?
Yep. It was, I mean, they didn't have like an official one that they released at the time, but you know, a lot of
Yeah.
people made duplicates, and I had to actually hunt for a few of them because they added things about halfway through the season that I had to kind of like track down.
And they always get like early access to those kinds of things too.
Yep. So I was able to add pretty much everything, including like, I keep talking about LD Shadow Lady's like flower breeding mod, but that was one of the ones that kind of hooked me. I'm like, oh, I want to try this.
Yeah. Dude, that does sound interesting. Modded has ruined me. This is why I waited so long to get into it. But how did you get into Minecraft? Surely it wasn't just the X-Life series, was it?
Oh, no. Like, so I've talked about this before, but I have a D&D group. That was a group of friends that I worked at the craft store with. And we, of course, the pandemic came around, and the time we will not talk about. And couldn't do things in person. So a few of my friends, we started playing D&D online, and then we're like, hey, what if we do some games online? And Minecraft was the first one they came up with. They're like, this one will be easy for you to get on, and we'll play peaceful, and you don't have to do monsters or any of that stuff. So in July, and it took me a month, like they had already been playing on their own SMP thing for a while, and about a month in, I'm like, all right, I'll finally bite the bullet and buy the game. And yeah, I've been playing it pretty nonstop for 5 years. Well, not quite 5 years, 4.5 years now.
Well, you're pretty much in between Lane and I then, as far as experience goes. No!
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, he's beating me to sleeping again.
Oh.
We were competing during Zink's interview.
So, Millie, what made you want to upload?
Other than world tours. What made you want to
Yeah.
take it seriously?
So also during that time, or right, let's say, no, the year before, so the year 2019, year before all that kind of stuff hit, I had lost my job, and no harm, no foul, but
Okay, cool.
I basically I decided I was going to do crafting. So, I always loved to do crafting and painting and all of that kind of stuff. So I decided I'm going to like sink all of my time into that while I'm looking for a new job. And I actually had a craft show that year and did like little booth things and decided I was going to do YouTube postings of how to paint things. Those videos still exist, but you'd have to look for them. And it's not on a channel that you think. But I did about 3 or 4 different videos of like painting things, and then later did a little bit of other pandemic-y kind of things, like how to fix things when you can't go out. So I've always really wanted to video and record things. I always wanted to have an avenue to put out content, and I just didn't have one besides like a camcorder when I was like, in the 80s. I'll age myself a little bit, but but yeah, so once Minecraft came out and people are doing this thing and they're building these huge builds and making stories, and like they're having sets. Basically, you're making a set for yourself to play in, and that just like immediately like, oh wait, I can build a thing absolutely in this game where I wouldn't be able to do it in real life. I can't set up stage sets in real life
Right?
because I just don't have the money, but I can do it here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what really got me to start posting.
Me too. As
That's
you
a
could probably
pretty
tell.
interesting take.
I am kind of curious, though. This brings up a follow-up question that's not on the list. Did either of you ever make, like, oh, yay, rain. Ever make, like, little videos or movies that you never posted when you were, like, really little?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
just me? Great. Never mind then.
I did on VHS tape
Oh, wow.
when, and then it was a long time after that before I got any digital recording devices. And, you know, most of those, like the early ones, didn't have sound, or it was just way too expensive.
Yeah.
So I think once, you know, cell phones became a thing, it became way easier
Yeah. When I was little...
and cheaper.
Yeah. When I was little, our oldest brother, I mean, I say brother, but it's like non-blood relationship kind of whatever, made movies with his old digital camera. And E and I were very little, so we thought it was the coolest thing to make your own movies and stuff like that and get to be a part of that. So
Yeah.
we would do what we could with our little digital cameras, and we would do like stop motion animation stuff with Legos and
Oh, that's
all sorts
cool.
of other like really shaky little movies that we tried to record of each other, and most of them we deleted because we couldn't actually upload any of the photos onto a computer. So we just
Yep.
deleted the ones we didn't like to make room for whatever
Yep.
else we wanted to make. And I forget about that part. Like that, making videos is not a new thing for me. It's just taking it seriously is the new part.
I did a tiny bit of stop motion in school. I had a class where it actually gave me access to editing software and a little stop motion camera and some little figures to do stuff with. And I think it was only like, I think it was a week that we got to spend using that kind of thing. But like that always gave me like, oh man, but it takes so much time. Like,
It did.
Yeah, in high school, in my class anyway, well, I had learned how to do video editing and stuff like that. So like I learned through school on how to edit videos, but not really, because if you watch how simple my videos are now and how almost unedited a lot of my stuff is, you couldn't tell, right? But I did learn a lot of that back in the day. Now, granted, I'm rusty on that aspect, even though I do weekly uploads and have for 2 years now. You'd think I'd be better at that, but and it's the same with thumbnails. I mean, even before I ever learned how to edit videos, I learned how to edit photos and things like that because of a computer class I had back in like 7th and 8th grade. Because what they did was they allowed you to download software that corresponded to whatever route you wanted to go in that class. So you could do video editing, or you could do like something with software, or, you know, whatever else. And for whatever reason, I was just interested in doing the photo thing. So I downloaded GIMP and I started learning how to do that way back in the day.
Oh wow.
oh wow.
Again, you can't even tell when you look at my thumbnails and stuff now, but I did spend some time in there, but it has not translated over. That's the closest I've gotten to making anything before this.
Sir, I can guarantee you that the public school system taught you nothing important about either of those things.
No, they didn't, because in both of those classes, my teacher said, and I quote, "Okay, you've got the software on your designated computer. Go learn how to use it yourself."
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I think I learned the most in my computer class when my teacher wasn't teaching us stuff.
Yeah. This is
Because I
why
would learn from other people, and
I'm used to teaching myself. I mean, that's how I was schooled, technically. So the public
True,
school
even
system
in
still
public
astounds
school.
me.
even public school, like, same kind of thing happens.
Oi. See, I just took
What's
out the
that?
middleman.
Yeah.
There you go.
The middleman being the teacher.
Oh, but I have some teachers that really like put a lot of work into me over the years. And like my 3rd grade teacher, she was absolutely the best person, and she kind of called me. I had a higher reading level than everybody else in the class, and I had a higher writing level. And she was just like, "All right, you just do your thing," and she would give me like blank books to write in.
Aw.
And that kind of thing has like at that point I wanted to be a writer, and I wanted to write, and I wanted to tell stories, and
I have follow-up questions.
so yeah, so teachers do have a benefit.
Absolutely. So if you're a teacher listening, we appreciate you.
Yes,
Please make sure
definitely.
your workplace appreciates you.
Yes.
If you can.
Yep, the world needs more of you.
Absolutely. If you dream of being a teacher, please do it.
Yes.
This is your sign. So writing. Have you
Yes.
written any books?
I have written one. I finished it when I was
Yay.
18.
Ooh, wow.
And barely looked at it ever since.
Can relate.
But I've written a lot of fan fiction, which is probably as long as a novel, or as long as a full book, but nothing that was published officially or would have ever been published officially. But they were out there online
I absolutely.
as of the last thing I knew.
I count fan fiction as writing.
I mean, I would count it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and as I said, I play D&D. I'm the dungeon master, game master, whatever you want to call it. Been doing so for 8 years, and you know, I have to write the story to
Yeah.
go along.
My writing class, because I took a creative writing course back during my gap year, they always told us that as long as you're writing, you are a writer. If you're taking notes,
Absolutely.
if all you're doing is taking notes, then probably not quite as qualified as being a writer. But if you write stories, you are a writer. And I still consider myself a writer, even though I don't write novels anymore. Right now, my writing is being put towards things like scripts or community posts or inquiry emails, but
You're still absolutely a writer.
absolutely, yeah, I'm still flexing those muscles in different ways than I used to, but I haven't lost those skills. So where do you...
I think most of us who like writing will never just not write.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
totally.
ingrained in our bones at that point.
Muscle memory.
I mean, agreed. As a songwriter, lyrically and musically, I mean, I'm still always writing something, even if it never sees the light of day. There's always something to write.
oh, yeah.
Well, it should see the light of day. We're gonna keep bugging you about getting that song or that music out, Lane.
Yeah.
One of these days, okay. One of these days, I need to
One
get.
of these days, you've been saying that for almost a year now.
Look, I've been saying that since I was 16. Okay.
Aw.
Make
look.
it happen.
Look, I have to get a better audio setup and everything else first. We're gonna get there.
Excuse me, who keeps telling everybody in the Discord that doesn't matter what microphone you have, you just need to do it?
Okay, when it comes down to music and you're trying to put that out there for everybody, you want that to be professional quality. Like the only thing there is the sound quality.
hey, like Weird Al Yankovic put his thing on a little
I'm
cassette
not
tape
Weird
and
Al,
sold
okay?
it. So I know, but the point is that everybody has to start somewhere, even if it was on a CD or a blank
I
tape
agree.
or a MP3 or something garbage. You got to start somewhere.
Look, I agree, right? But here's the thing. I don't want the natural sounds of my entire household in my musical recordings.
Have you ever heard of something called a demo album?
I have, and I'm probably not gonna do that,
Ah, come
okay?
It's relatable. It sounds DIY. That's a trend now. That can be an aesthetic. You can make anything an aesthetic if you're confident enough.
Heck yeah, you could have that weird air conditioner fan running in the background and just add it.
Wow.
What is Millie? You're gonna know exactly what this is called. It's like Midwest emo. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
It's like a very specific type of like punk folk kind of thing. We can
Oh,
make
yeah,
this
a little bit
we
of
can make
that
this a
Midwest
thing.
grunge
We
too.
can-
Yeah.
yeah.
Like trailer park grunge.
What's another name for where you live, Lane? Because I don't want to say the state.
Oh, look, there's not a lot of good names that come to mind, okay?
Fine. we'll workshop names later. Everybody comment below what you think Lane's aesthetic should be based off of his air conditioning.
What?
We're gonna make
Anyway,
it
next topic.
we can make this a thing. Okay.
Make it something.
So, Millie, I'm going to turn one of your own questions against you.
One of my own questions against me. Okay.
Yep, you pitched this one and we've had it on our rotation ever since. What is your dream job? No time limit, no education limit, no funds limit. What would you be doing?
That's changed multiple times over the years.
Oh,
but,
yeah. You can have multiple jobs. It's a dream.
Yeah, well, for a while there, it was a paid dungeon master, but that's kind of starting to fall up to the side because everybody does it now.
Critical Role.
Critical Role, Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
I think now, since we've really gotten rolling with this whole Minecraft thing, I would love to do this for a living, or at least be able to retire doing this for a living. That would be great. And or playing other games and just sharing my content and making friends online and that kind of thing versus having to if I could do that and make money and be able to afford healthcare and all of that fun stuff, I totally would.
I could see you doing that too.
I could see it. One of these days.
One of these days. We'll keep working at it. We'll all keep working at it, and then maybe we'll be the next Hermit Craft. Craftworks will be a whole group of us just doing this for a living. That would be
Better
great.
than Hermit Craft.
I mean,
Yeah.
according to our fans, we are pretty much the next Hermitcraft.
Yeah.
Better than Hermit Craft.
We are the younger, cuter brother. No.
That also causes more trouble on occasion.
I think we've saved the squid now, okay?
No, we haven't saved it enough. It's still going for the shore. Stop it.
In
Keeps
that
turning
case,
around
just
to
let
the
it.
shore.
It's made its decision.
Okay, but on the off chance that YouTube is no longer a thing. Oh my gosh. Stop it.
Oh gosh.
On the
Ooh.
off chance that YouTube is no longer a thing, what's the backup plan, Millie?
On the off chance that YouTube is not a thing, I would probably actually try to get into writing if I could just do it, and either that and or just painting, and because I love painting miniatures and get back into that crafting thing that I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Just something I can be creative with. I
Yeah.
just have to be creative, no matter what way that version is.
And I totally get that. Like my mother, back in my teenage years, she would do like she would burn images into wood for people and things like that, or she would do glass etchings, like custom glass etchings for people.
Oh, that's cool.
They pay her, say, hey, I want this design on a glass plate or a cup or whatever. And she would do that, and then she made pretty decent money off of it. I mean, she paid for mine and my sister's entire Christmas one year off of that. So,
Oh wow, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I mean, there's definitely a market for it out there if you can put yourself out there to do it.
Mm-hmm. Do either of you have any like really weird backup jobs that you have in mind?
I'll say the weird job that I wanted to have in high school was I wanted to become a paleontologist.
Ooh,
Because
Why does that sound like a Millie thing, though?
it does.
I really, really wanted to dig up dinosaur bones. I wanted to go out to Utah and be out there in the bone pit and do the Jurassic Park thing. And
That's
yeah,
so
that didn't
weird
happen,
that I can
but
picture that so perfectly.
Yeah. And to be fair, that
Maybe-
would be a
maybe
pretty
it's-
cool job. So
maybe it's the
Yeah.
overalls and but it's so hard. Like I'm sure we all know our friend Dasklos, the archaeologist,
Yeah.
and it's a hard job because you have to
Mhm.
get grants and you have to find a school to support you and
Yeah.
or some kind of business to support you. Now I did have a cousin who was a geologist for a while, and I thought that was really cool, but
Mhm.
could not afford the schooling to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a weird backup job. I think honestly, YouTube is my weird backup job.
What's your weird backup, Izzy? Like besides the one you're going into right now? Like, is there something else?
I want to be a costume character at Disneyland.
Ooh, I had a friend
be
who was
cool.
one of those.
I have one who is one currently, and she's so good at it. It's so cute.
Aw,
I don't have the
that's
face
awesome.
shape for anything though. I'd probably have to be one in a mask, but I'd be okay with that.
oh. See, then you get more hugs that way.
Or
That's
I'd
true.
scare small children more than I already
Or you
do.
get scared.
Either that or even just one of the dancers would be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about that. We have a couple amusement parks in our state, and I've told my husband, I says, if I retire and we still need money, I might have to like take up a summer job every summer and just sit at the carousel or something and run that. Like,
Aw, that'd be so cute. Well, on the topic of jobs and futures and stuff, where do you see yourself in 5 years, Millie? This isn't an interview. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, probably the same thing, honestly. Like, nothing, like,
Working at a
honestly, I
carousel?
don't have any working at a carousel. No, I'm not going to be retired by then.
Okay.
But it would be awesome if I could be retired by then. But I'm comfy where I'm at right now, honestly. Like, within the next 5 years, and we don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 years. So I think if I'm in the same place I am now with a comfortable job, a roof over my head, a loving husband, a lot of awesome friends, I think I'll be happy.
Aw, that's a good answer. I like that answer. Nobody should copy it, but I like that answer.
It's mine.
Okay, rapid fire 3 random facts about you, and then we'll move into some other questions.
I have dimples on both cheeks.
Cute. I've seen them. They're adorable.
Let me think. And if anybody's watched my really old streams, you might be able to see it. They still do exist out there. What's another 2? I have a giant manga collection. And what else? What would be another good one? And as much as I love interior design here on Minecraft, I flunked that class in high school.
Wait,
You
really?
would not be able to tell. You would not be able to tell.
Absolutely. It was all based on like this it was all based on this one last project, and I did not have enough money to be able to buy stuff like everybody else in my class did, so I had to like scrounge the basement and I
Rigged.
got a D.
That is so
Oh,
rigged.
wow.
I
Shouldn't
know,
have to
right?
spend money for that kind of thing.
It's probably why I love doing it now. It's kind of like ha 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 ha. People like my interior design.
We do quite like your interior design. Actually, okay, we're going off the script a little bit. I'm going to ask a question now. Millie, tell me your thought process as you're doing interior design. Like just watching you do it, and just like the way I feel, watching
Overshot
the way
there a little
that you just place blocks and just your creative flow with it, it intrigues me. I want to know what goes through Millie's head as you're designing an interior.
So I look at a space, I try to figure out what said space is supposed to be. So like obviously, some of them are going to be a lot easier than others. If I'm designing a house or I'm designing a building, I kind of have an idea what it's going to be. And then once I know that, I go through my vast picture library that's in my head from watching the Home and Garden channel for like 2 decades, and then just start to kind of pick out things and how things would be set up. Are you gonna try to save it?
It's too far.
Nope, too late.
No.
And then I like start to go, okay, what block types do I have? What kinds of shapes do I need that's gonna actually fit this thing that I have in my mind, and can I do it? And will I have to tweak? Yes, probably. And that's one thing I love about modded Minecraft is how much furniture there is, because I would die for that in regular Minecraft. So you don't have to make staircase chairs like we're sitting on right now. But
It's pretty.
yeah, that's kind of my thought process. I kind of mentally picture it out first, and sometimes I'll do like Izzy does and just kind of do a setup like with blocks to kind of block it out. But most of the time I can just kind of see it in my head.
So
See,
just see it in
that's
your
my
head, Lane.
issue.
See
That's
in your
my
head. Just-
issue. I can't
just get
see
good,
the.
Lane.
That's my issue. Is I can't see the interior in my head. I can barely see the exterior in my head. Okay.
I watch so many design shows. Like somebody was talking about trading spaces on YouTube not too long ago, and I used to watch the heck out of that, and it was the dumbest show because people sometimes the neighbors would be nice to each other, and sometimes the neighbors would completely ruin the other neighbor's house.
Oh my gosh, I think I actually know what show you're talking about.
Yeah, so it was like 2 neighbors, and they each got to design each other's rooms.
Yeah, I watched that show growing up. Oh, no wonder
Yeah.
I like doing interiors. I never thought about that.
Yep. If you watched that, or you watched any of those, like move, what was that one that said "move that bus"? Kind of like whatever that show was. Like,
Something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Extreme Home Makeovers.
Yeah. that-
Extreme
See, if you
Makeovers
watched
Home
any of
Edition.
that,
Yeah.
yep, early 2000s, like home and garden kind of TV.
Race car
It's
bed.
just- Yeah, race car bed.
Just so everyone knows, that is an inside joke with Millie, E, and I, and Jittery technically. when it comes to doing interiors. E and Millie had just finished doing an interior for Jittery, and they asked my opinion on it. This was in season 1, so I wasn't an official
Yep.
member yet. And my only thing I told them was that it needed a race car bed. And that's been a running joke ever since.
And then the funniest thing was I found that design for it like very
Yeah.
shortly thereafter. And so designs online, like being able to see like Insta posts and stuff like that with other people's builds and like, oh, you can make this thing out of all of these blocks. And that's why I did the race car bed here in the interior store. So
Yeah. I will say it really does help to grow up with shows like that and to like have a passion for it, because I'm finding out that one of the best ways to create something based off of what inspires you is to saturate your brain with whatever it is that inspires you. Because that once you're saturated, the only thing you can do is overflow. And that overflow is what you create. I'm finding that out as I create things.
and in an unhealthy obsession with something for years and years and years,
Oh,
that
yeah.
also helps, because you want to learn every single thing you can about said thing.
That must be
Hyperfixation.
why I overthink everything in this server.
It probably is.
Because I've
Oversaturation.
never had an unhealthy obsession with anything in Minecraft. There's an obsession. I wouldn't call it an unhealthy one.
Spruce and deep slate.
Yeah, it's like a
You
healthy.
hush.
I mean, like on top of that, though, is being able to share that obsession with somebody else. Because I think almost every single thing that I've gotten very heavily into, whether it was Minecraft, whether it was crafting, whether it was Dungeons and Dragons, whatever it was, I had people who also enjoyed that, and being able to share that, like, oh, I want to learn way more about this so that I can, do this thing with all of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I do not have the fan questions open.
I have them open.
Take it away, Lane.
Okay, so Willem the Woopa asks, what is your favorite style to build with, and what inspiration do you draw from to build with that style?
Oh, hodgepodge, kind of like run down, but not destroyed kind of style. Like I call that is my kind of my style that I have going over the flower farm now, and the
Yeah.
corner store, the barn that I built on season 1, the lighthouse I built on season 1. So worn, but not.
The used stuff.
Yeah, like used, because I
Yeah.
love going through antique stores. So used but loved, kind of like that is
Lived
my
in
style.
is the
Lived in.
term.
Lived in,
Yep.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
welcome.
Yeah, exactly. What was the second part of that question?
What inspiration do you draw from to build with that style?
I watch a lot of urban explorers. And like I said, I love antiquing. I love just riding around in the car and looking at old houses and, just taking mental images of old areas. And that is just a big thing for me.
See, antiquing is one of those things I actually did kind of pick up on over the years. My step grandmother, throughout my teenage years and most of my childhood, she actually ran estate sales here
Oh.
and things like that. And so, like, the common thing around here is that most of the estate sales that are ran are for older folks that have got just massive antique collections.
Absolutely. Yep.
So yeah, I picked up on a lot of that. We're going to say a hired hand, though I wasn't actually paid in anything other than lunch and gas money. I would basically go and do all the heavy lifting around there. But I did pick up
Would she
a
get
lot.
you stuff once in a while, like if
No,
you'd worked?
no.
Oh no. Ah.
No, well, I take that back. A lot of the estate sales that we worked, we knew the people beforehand, and they'd be like, "Well, we're just trying to get rid of this stuff so we can sell this house or whatever." And whatever doesn't sell, like the big stuff, just take it with you. If you've got storage, take it. So, like, I mean, some of my furniture here in this house came from some of those sales 10 years ago.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of stuff out of that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And like thrifting, like that's
Yeah.
part of the reason I built thrifty works because I love like going into thrift stores too. Now I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
done it in a while, but I like doing that too.
Oh yeah, no, I love visiting a good thrift store.
That is funny. I'm trying to figure out why I don't usually go into antique stores or thrift stores or anything, but I'm finding out it's because I have such a big family. And since I'm on the younger end, I'm just like inheriting all the things that you would find in an antique
You
store.
have the
or thrift store.
automatic,
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
automatic thrift hand-me-downs. Yeah, we
plus
didn't
my,
have a.
Sorry, my mom is the same way. She loves antique stores and thrift stores and stuff. So she'll just see stuff and be like, hey, does this look like something you could use for your future apartment or whatever? And I'd be like, yeah. And she's like, okay, cool. It's on sale. I'm bringing it home. So we have like a whole room full of secondhand furniture that we're saving for whenever one of us actually has enough room for it, which I don't at the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff in my room that's
Secondhand or from a sibling or a grandparent or something.
Yeah, I got
that's
almost everything that when I moved out on my own was like that kind of thing. It was either hand-me-downs or leftovers or whatever. So
yep,
nice.
that's pretty much what happened with me. I mean, like I said, half the furniture here was just sitting in my dad's shed from the leftovers from an estate sale. And look, let me tell you, when I said, Dad, I'm moving out, can I have some of this furniture out of your shed? I never seen that man jump clean up out his recliner so quickly. He was ready to clean out his shed. He was trying to turn that into his little man cave for the longest.
He's like, yeah, somebody's taking it. Let's do this.
Have you ever seen that one like reel going around that was when that one tool or that one piece of junk that your dad's been saving finally comes in handy?
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
see that.
yeah. I
That's
love
what
that
that
one.
reminds me of. What do you I have a off-topic question. Well, kind of on topic, which is why I'm asking it. What do you call hand-me-downs, but it's the younger sibling handing it up to the older sibling? Because we've been calling them throw-me-ups, and I don't think that's quite the right term.
We still haven't found a better one.
I don't know if there's actually, I don't know if there's an actual phrase for that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could still call it a
Okay.
hand-me-down. It's just, it's a lightly used.
I'm going to use that now.
Throw-me-ups.
Needless to say, I guess we could just call it like shuffling clothes, but that's just not as
Shuffling.
fun. Doesn't quite get the point
sharing
across.
clothes.
I love it.
Okay, I still don't have it open, Lane. You get to.
Okay. Hold on,
Gotta
I'm trying to
de-shrimp.
read through this.
Let me de-shrimp here.
Oh, good.
Okay, shrimp
Okay,
check.
there we go.
Oh, maybe hydration check too while we're
Yeah, let's go ahead and do
yes,
that real
good
quick.
idea.
Ole asks, what unpopular Minecraft opinion does Millie have?
Hot take.
Ooh, I like sniffers. There.
Okay, but I like sniffers. I don't feel like that's a hot take.
I feel like it's a hot take.
There's a lot of people that don't like. Okay, I also like using. I also like using like all of the woods, like including the birch and acacia. Like I just finished building something with acacia, so
I like birch and acacia. Lane doesn't. He
Look.
likes spruce.
Spruce and deep slate. That's all you need. That's all you need in life. Okay.
oh, you're better than that now. Like
Look. I've overcomplicated this base too much. If I could have just gone back and done spruce and deep slate for the whole thing, I would have done it.
no, you wouldn't have. You needed to build something bigger and better and awesome, and it looks beautiful. So
So the other question that I'm looking at here is from Kat. Well, she's got a series of questions here. A couple of these I'm interested in. The first one being, if you had to live in a singular biome, one for vanilla, one for modded, for your whole time playing Minecraft, which biome would you choose? Flower Forest is excluded.
is
Oh, no.
excluded.
She
That's
knows her
okay.
well.
That's okay. I actually have one that I have been wanting to build in for a long time, and it's actually where K-Hug's building right now in the old growth pine or spruce taigas. I love the color of that area, so I think that might be like that would be one that I would totally just spend my entire time in if I had to.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I've already done dark oak forest and now flower forest. So
For the viewers here is that did not see Craftworks season 1, I highly recommend checking out Millie's stuff from season 1 because Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not go over there very often last season, but when I did, every time I was blown away.
Aw, thank you, Lane.
I
Should have
genuinely
come
mean
over
that.
way more often.
I should have. I really should have. But you know as well as I do that every time I came over, we ended up in a 2-hour conversation, losing track of what we were doing.
That's
Yep.
true. We still do that. So
We still do that.
Just in a more controlled environment.
Yeah.
more control. I mean, he came over while I was doing an interior for Goose at Christmas time, and like I completely like lost track of what I was doing that day, and it was about 2 hours because we were talking about merch and all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the whole thing.
That was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing.
So one of the other questions that Kat asks is, you've done modded before. What's the best feature of modded series that vanilla should offer?
Oh,
Tree chopping mod.
Me personally, I want to say backpacks.
see, I think if you wanted to stick it with like, yeah, backpacks are good if you're
Well, we have
playing from a
shulker boxes, I guess.
perspective. Yeah, if you're playing from a, you know what though, backpacks can carry shulkers in them, and
Ooh, okay. Oh, yep. See, there we go.
so
sounds
more
like one of-
storage in general.
Sounds like one of those mic drop moments.
Yeah.
I will say, like, in my ex life when I had backpacks, oh my gosh, I had everything in my backpack, and it was amazing. Like, I'll hype up our one friend Lion, and
Yeah.
like love the fact of all of the
Variety
different kinds
chests.
of. Yes, variety chests, variety crafting tables. Like, I love that idea. And just having a variety of similar blocks that are different and like half slabs, vertical half slabs, like stairs of like concrete and stuff,
And
like things
concrete
that
terracotta, yes.
terracotta, anything like that, like where you can like the blocks we have already, just more functionality to them,
Yeah.
and I love modded for that.
Yeah.
And better end dimension
Oh,
and
yeah.
more biomes out there
Something other
too.
than chorus fruit, please.
exactly. So I can't really pick one, but I would say anything that would definitely build upon what we already have in vanilla, I would absolutely jump at. That's why, you know, with this new snapshot that's coming out, more wildflowers, more flowers that we can place down, the leaves that we can place down, more like the falling leaves has been a mod for like probably for like longer than 4 or 5 years, because I know X-Life had it, and I love that. So I can't wait for it to come to vanilla here soon. What about you two? Like you both had obviously, Izzy, you have a very long history into modded now,
Very long
and
history, like 4 months.
4 months of modded. You've gotten into this thing. Lane, you've done some too. What about you two? What would you do?
Am I going first or you going first?
You
here,
go
Izzy?
first. You're sitting next to her.
Okay. So I wanted to preface this by saying that my modded experience is very limited. So limited that I only recorded 1 episode of Better Minecraft and then I stopped. Okay.
You were playing Cobblemon this afternoon, so
Yes,
you've
but
had a little bit more modded.
Yes, but that's just a Pokemon mod in Minecraft, right? That didn't really give me much to work with. Not yet. I only streamed it for 2 hours. That's the longest I played the game so far.
So if
need
Lane could add
Pokeballs in
anything to
Minecraft, so
it would
Yes.
be Pokemon.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I really don't know. Again, like I said, I don't have very much modded experience.
Maybe your backpacks.
Maybe, I guess, I don't know. Like most of the modded stuff that I've seen has come from, well, like Izzy's modded series and, you know, things like that, like some of our Minecraft friends and their modded series, but that's all that I am acquainted with, really.
Ooh, I forgot one. The dyeable wood.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be
I
cool.
want blue. I want blue.
I want green.
Yeah, so I don't know that I necessarily have an answer for that.
This is a sure sign that we need to get him into more modded, is he?
Yeah, I know. We're working on
And
it.
to be fair, I've only been saying it for ever now that I need to crack down and you know, try to play some of it. I just have not done so.
You have a pretty. I mean, it took me a while to get into it too, because I was just so fixed on vanilla stuff, and because
I was somewhat new to the game. I didn't think I could actually take full advantage of all of the mods since I was still pretty overwhelmed with all the options in vanilla. But it was not too terrible of a transition.
Well, that's my other thing with modded, right? Is it's so you're going to get a train in the background again, by the way.
Hi, train.
But that's my thing with modded is I'm already overwhelmed by the current options in the vanilla game,
Yeah.
right? Modded is only going to amplify that more. And that when I start getting overwhelmed, it kind of creates a little bit of an anxiety in me.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
understand
that kind of takes away from what is the squid doing? That takes
Say
away
hi.
from the from
There's two of them.
the whole point in playing it, I guess. If I get anxiety in doing it, then it makes me not enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I just need to get better, I guess, at like impromptu building and stuff like that, and really studying how the different blocks and colors work together,
Yeah.
and then try to ease into the modded stuff.
My thing is decision paralysis. I joke about it on stream, but it actually does happen where I'll be so overwhelmed with the amount of decisions I have to make that I can no longer even make constructive decisions.
Yeah.
But thankfully that hasn't gone too out of hand with this series. But to
It's
answer
gone
your
out of
question,
hand with Craftworks, for me anyway.
Yeah. The timber mod, tree chopping mod, whichever mod it is that makes you chop down the base of the tree and the whole thing comes down. That is the best thing. And I miss it so much when I come back to vanilla.
Some of these other questions come from Norm Plays. Wow, okay, he's got a list of questions here, including how many lanes could a lucky lane lane if a lucky lane could lane?
Yes.
That's the same answer that Kat gave. So
I read it. I know. I just wanted to hear you say that.
Oh my word.
he
Lane.
asks,
No, Lanathy. That would be the answer.
oh,
there.
no.
Anthony.
Lanthony.
The answer is Lance. Yep.
Lance. The answer is Lance there.
He asks, what's a build style you feel intimidated by and why?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I have an answer
builds.
for this already, so.
Mega builds. I am totally intimidated by mega builds and
Yep.
building anything bigger than like the thing I'm staring at right now is kind of on the
I need to build
intimidation scale
a
here.
wall or something in front of I don't know, something else over here. So
No,
it's
it looks
not
really
just
good, but-
copper. It does.
We could put I need
Put
like
a
a
retaining wall
gazebo
over
or
there or something.
something
Yeah.
or something else. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's also
no,
really
see,
cool looking, and I wish
is, yeah.
I really wish there was color in it besides the white, because I would totally make it into a very colorful hot air balloon type thing versus.
You know, I can't relate to the mega base thing as we've currently learned this season.
We know.
Yeah.
But you also use Axiom and some other tools like that, and
The issue is that I use Axiom and then I don't realize how big the things
Yep.
are until I put them in survival. Hence why I ended up with 16,000 smooth quartz blocks alone in this build.
Yeah.
No.
For me, the style that I am intimidated by is steampunk. I have not
okay.
done much, steampunk and cyberpunk. I have not done, the punks. Actually, mostly cyberpunk, and it's because for one, I've never touched that style, and for two, it's just watching a lot of these other creators do that. It just looks so daunting. The only person that I've seen do it, and I'm not going to say that I've enjoyed, because I've seen a lot of people do it in ways that I enjoy, but no, not even Flip. I think it was Vintage Beef a few seasons back in
wow.
Hermitcraft.
Oh.
That was the season where I really got into his content. I've recently fallen off, and I need to get back on that. But
Well, he did take a break there for a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he did do a cyberpunk city that was inspired by the game Cyberpunk, I believe.
Oh.
It was so cool to see, and I've always wanted to do that. But every time I even think about it, I'm just straight up intimidated. It looks like a lot.
It's a lot of detail.
Yeah, exactly my problem.
Yeah.
What about you, Izzy?
Mega builds.
Oh, mega builds.
I can't build big. It's too much for my little brain.
Well, I can't build small, so
I don't want to swap. I like what I have.
Yep. I like
build-
my kind of medium-sized builds. That's good enough for me.
I build stories, not cities.
All right, so another one from Norm. And okay, so I'm going to ask my variation of this question first, and then we're going to get into how Norm asked it.
Okay.
So my question is, what are your least favorite blocks?
Again,
This is
my
this is a
least
tough
favorite.
one because
Yeah.
this is a tough one
It is
because I feel like
Not
every
for
block
me,
has got its
crimson.
purpose. Crimson.
Crimson. Okay. See,
It
I've
tastes like
challenged
concert.
myself. Yeah, I can see that.
I harshly judge all the blocks by how they taste in my
By
imagination.
how they taste.
Of course.
See, like I challenged myself this season to use a little bit of everything just to get out of that mindset of not liking a block. So let me look around. Let me see. Is there anything sandstone? Well, that's
love
a
how
cool
you
build
say
you
let-
did, but
I love how you say, let me look around, and then you look directly over at Cube's place, knowing full well the man is a very talented builder.
it is. But I'm also looking at like the way he does it is amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that Cube actually does build with pretty much every block in the game.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's doing
pretty
the
much.
same thing I
She's
am this
looking
year,
in the
like
right
season.
place, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then of course then you got all the terracotta. Like I've learned a lot more about terracotta than I ever did this season. And yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time now because it's kind of like saying like what's your least favorite color, and you can say
Yeah.
brown, but like
I like
Yeah.
brown.
there's also a lot of cool brown colors. Like I like
Right.
coffee brown and mocha brown, and
Yeah.
What
Okay,
so
about
well-
I'm gonna say I don't have an answer.
even utility blocks? Shulker sensors?
Oh, I did not mean to open that.
No, you're good.
You can say lava.
Just lava.
Block of lava.
Okay, but even it has its uses.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
even like the little yeah.
Oh, I'm changing my
I
answer.
don't know.
Sweetberry bushes.
Okay. Okay.
Sweep it. Oh, of course, of course. A very easy answer.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine because I'm going to take the crimson as my answer because I also don't really care much for it. And it's funny because I made a farm for it this season.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad you did because I've been building it into my build. So
Nice.
Millie makes it look good, I'll say that. I just can't work
Thank
with it.
Okay. Well, if you don't have an actual answer for this, which is fine because even crimson has its uses, right? And I'm still going to find a way to use it even if I don't care for it. All this to ask, how often do you challenge yourself to build with these blocks that you don't usually use that you consider to be your least
I
favorites?
kind of already like answered that. Like
You did a little bit, yeah.
yeah, because at first you can say okay,
So
I
you
hate
caught a fish.
I did. I actually got an
you
actual
caught
fish.
actual fish.
It just came up to the surface at the exact same time as I threw in my bobber.
Nice.
I couldn't do that again if I tried.
Gosh, magenta, like glazed magenta terracotta, like as much as
Ooh.
that is an ugly thing now, I have not used that actually here yet, but I've
Yeah.
seen it used a couple times here in the server already, and I appreciate that. So I think like all of those blocks that I've been doing over this season, I take those blocks that I think are ugly, those glazed terracottas, and have just tried to work with them enough until I have an appreciation for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing that I really focus on while I'm here in Craftworks. My goal in Craftworks, in every build that I do, try to use a block that I would have never used otherwise. And I've done that, I want to say, successfully since season 1.
Yeah.
Because, like, the terracotta, I had never used it before my Steamboat season 1.
Yeah.
And then the glazed terracottas, not until the Mega Base.
Yep.
And, things like that. So I try to really focus on that myself here, and it's funny because there's a lot of blocks here that I typically don't use, but as I look around the server, everybody here has got such a unique way of doing things. They can take the ugliest block and make it look like it fits.
I'm
And
not
I
good.
love
yeah.
that.
I use the same palette for everything.
Yes, we've noticed, Izzy, but we love you anyway. So
I'm quite unoriginal.
You have to start somewhere. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
start
true.
with that like same palette you're doing over and over and over, and then eventually you kind of break out like, okay, I'm kind of tired of that now. Let me add this color to it. Okay, I'm gonna add this color to it now. Okay, now you have a new palette you're working with.
that's
I will say I need to work with more concrete. Like I do not do a lot with those solid colors because concrete is so vivid.
There's not very much texture to the block, and that's what I find hard to work with on it.
I like concrete powder.
Yeah,
I
like
love
powder,
concrete powder, but that's also hard to work with since it's, gravity dependent.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Can't recommend, especially since I'm running the shop. Please don't buy any more concrete. I'm tired of getting up gravel. It hasn't even been.
I'm gonna go buy concrete now just for that.
Yeah, it's fine. Promise.
I wanted to try to sleep this time so I don't get me.
Don't
So
get
she doesn't catch
phantoms.
the phantoms.
Use your bed. Me.
I'm okay with you using my bed. But if you want a neener, that's fine.
So Kat had also asked if you had to advertise Minecraft for a group of people that have never played or even heard of Minecraft before, what would you say?
Oh,
That's
man.
a good question.
I have
It's a
thought
great
about
question.
this one because I have shared to a couple of really nerdy people that I have this channel at work, but for the most part, I think, will they even know what I'm talking about? So, I would just say it's I would give probably the very generic. It's an open source world where you can move any block and arrange things in any way, so you can just build or explore that world endlessly. And that's kind of how I describe it. And if they didn't like it, then that's whatever. But I would just tell them, like, I fell in love with it because, I can just spend all my time doing whatever I wanted to.
Yeah. What about you, Izzy?
I'm not good at explaining. I actually did try to explain this to one of my teachers, specifically because I was telling my color instructor about the Loosest of Goose's channel because of his color theory videos, and I was telling her that that's how I learned a lot about color theory. And I basically just told her that he does it in a video game to make it easier to illustrate. And that's about as far as I've gotten to ever telling anybody how Minecraft works, is just it's a video game.
It's a video game, yeah.
It's a
I mean,
video
that's
game.
accurate, and it is
Yeah.
a good venue for sharing stuff like that, for
It is,
sure.
though.
So.
And it's so much more than that, but I don't try to explain it.
I try not to go too in depth with it when I explain it. I usually just say something more along the lines of, well, it's this blocky game where you can kind of create whatever you want to. Think about Legos, but in video game format.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I will
that's
say
a good
that's
way
how-
to do it.
That's how my parents explained it to my grandparents whenever
yeah.
they try to ask what we do for fun nowadays. It's like, oh, it's this video game that's pretty much just Legos, but on the computer. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I will say
I've-
that explaining Minecraft is easier than explaining Minecraft YouTube videos.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Because like there's so many, like all of my coworkers know that I do this, and like most of my family know that I do this. And like it just over the Christmas holiday, one of my family members was like, what even is a Minecraft?
Oh, wow.
and I'm explaining it, and they're like, okay, so how do you make a video on that? I'm like, you just open the game, you do whatever you want to, and then you edit it down, and then you go. And they're like, okay, well, that sounds kind of boring, but okay. I'm like, well, thanks.
I know. It's such a weird.
I would say the best
hobby.
part of me describing it to my mom and then finally showing her the videos and then her going, oh, and then Izzy did this and then Oda did this with the piglins and then Zinc did this with the Enderman, and that's the Ender Dragon you're talking about, like all of this stuff. And it's just like this moment
Yeah.
of I love you too, Mom. Thank you for watching my stuff.
It's like that moment you're proud of your parent, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
so
But it's also
sweet.
like it's having that like moment of like, hey, my parents actually do appreciate what I'm doing, and it like they're enjoying something that I made. And that
Yeah.
is always the best feeling.
Right.
No matter what
yeah.
age you are.
Yeah.
And we love Mama Millie. Every time I see her in
Yeah.
my comments section, I get the biggest smile on my face.
You've had it more than once. Oh, I've only been blessed by
I've
Mama
had her-
Millie once.
I've had her a couple times. Not very often, but I've had her a couple
She's
times.
got to be in a special mood to be able to
Yeah.
To comment.
have that. But to
Mama
comment.
Millie,
But she
if you're-
was super excited when she got to voice Sophia in that one episode.
Oh, yeah.
and she was
Aw.
super excited to hear it and had to comment and stuff. So
That's so sweet.
Mama Millie, if you're watching this, we love you.
Love you, Mama Millie.
love you.
My most recent situation similar to that was my dad just recently found out that my channel is monetized now.
Oh,
I did not tell him. He found out.
it's like, man, there's a lot of commercials on this show.
Yeah, he took me and E aside and was like, okay, so explain to me how this works. And he like took the time to actually listen and like compare it to things that he was familiar with. And now every now and again he'll be like, hey, it's Tuesday. Did you post a video today? It's like, oh, he knows my recording schedule.
Oh, nice.
It was sweet.
Okay. There's definitely one more in the fan one that I want to ask, but this one might be a lengthy one, so I wanted to save it for next one.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Millie, one last really quick question for this episode, and then we'll wrap it
All
up
right.
for the second one.
Nice.
And Paula wants to know what's your favorite food. Go.
Oh, my favorite food.
Yeah.
Pasta and garlic bread.
Ooh.
Same.
What kind of pasta?
As much as I eat Taco Bell, pasta is my number one.
My absolute favorite pasta is shells and meat sauce.
Ooh.
It's like a
Okay,
little cheese
yeah.
on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I could do that.
Yes, we know.
But
You
I
can't
could
eat
use like
food.
just about any pasta, like just about anything. I'll take it.
Yeah.
We do a chicken pesto pasta around here occasionally, and I love it so much.
Gosh, I'm hungry now.
I need to make a lasagna again. I know how to. I do a lasagna that is amazing, but it's been
Okay,
a while
well,
since I've cooked
okay,
it.
well, I'm going to the Millie household next time there's a lasagna
All right,
involved.
all right. Heck, if you guys came over, I would make you a lasagna. Like I would go out of my way to do that because I do that for my friends. So
Aw.
We need
See, I
to.
don't cook. I would just take you to the local barbecue shop.
ooh, I love
there you go.
barbecue too, so that would be acceptable.
Yeah, there we go. That or Mexican. Well, we can do either one.
Oh, Mexican's good too.
Mexican is good. Comfort food.
I
Yes.
had a burrito for dinner, so yum yum yum.
Gosh, I'm hungry.
Sorry, I thought you ate dinner beforehand.
I kind of did.
Okay, kind of.
Kind of. Snack dinner. My version.
Snack
An Izzy dinner.
An Izzy dinner.
Yes, that makes sense. That's what is that? A girl dinner, like
Hot
a girl
dinner,
lunch?
yeah.
Hot girl dinner, like yogurt and an orange. That was my hot girl lunch.
My
So
hot
I could have a burrito for dinner.
Yeah. Bag of chips and a cheese stick. That's, yeah.
Yep.
It's my
Yep, that's
post-editing
about right.
dinner. Okay, well, Lizzie's hungry, so we're going to wrap up this episode here. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned next week for part 2.
Woo!
Yay!